47 days of accountability. Today, we take a look at the Auditor General's report on the financial year 2014-2015 of Migori County. Before we get into that story, I just want to point out some of the issues that came up in the Auditor General's report. Let's take a look at my super wall tonight. One of the issues or rather, this is how the Auditor General's report works. They take a look at what's happening in the county assembly and in the county government. I've taken a look at just one example from each to take a look at this before we go into our story tonight. Now, in Migori County, the Assembly, the Auditor General raised certain issues with sitting allowances, calling it overpayment. This is the situation. During this financial year, the chair and vice chair each claimed these special rates of 6,500 and 5,200 for meetings. The problem with these figures is that these meetings were attended by these individuals in their capacity as ordinary members and not the chair and the vice chair. If you take a look at the next one, then it tells you this is the amount that each was actually entitled to, which is 3,900 shillings when attending to those committee meetings as ordinary members. If you add up the total of their extra allowances, it comes to a whopping figure of 15,843,140, which you will see on the next slide that we have here. This was the overpayment to the 8 chairmen and vice chair, which ought to be recovered. This is according to the Auditor General's report. Now, this is what it says, that apparently those special rates of 6,500 and 5,200 only apply when one is either chairing or a vice chair of a committee sitting, but not when they're attending these sittings as ordinary members. Therefore, the Auditor General's report states that this 15 million shillings is irregular and ought to have been recovered from these members of County Assembly in the financial year 2014-2015. Now, let's take a look at another issue that was raised by the Auditor General, and I hope we can get, a really good shot that zooms into this that you can see it, or perhaps we can take it full on the screen. With respect to what is happening in the county government, the Auditor General decried the lack of an audit committee. Now, apparently, the county has not had an audit committee 3 years from the time the county government started operations. This is up to the year 2015. At the time of audit, the county of Migori only had 3 internal audit staff to monitor revenue collections. There were no reports from the Committee on Expenditure and Controls of the county government. Why is this important? Because an audit committee can help identify weaknesses in financial and operational controls in good time, so that any corrective action that needs to be taken should be done so. So these are some of the issues that were raised. But our reporter, Fred Moturi, spoke to the county officials on these and many other queries raised by the Auditor General concerning expenditure and accountability in the county of Migori. So here's tonight's episode of 47 Days of Accountability.
Migori County is found in South Nyanza region. The county has a population of 1 million people with 8 sub-counties and 40 wards. When Migori Governor Zachary Okoth-Obado was elected, he embarked on fulfilling the promises he had made to his people by improving their lifestyle. But the governor, just like many others in the country, has questions to answer as per the Auditor General's report.
Kuna mabarabara tulikuwa tunatarajia kwamba itatengenezwa, hatuoni imetengenezwa, bado tu shida ni ile ile kwa sababu hatujapata uzuri wa county government. Haijatekelezwa vizuri venye sisi wananchi tunataka.
Pande wa kilimo amejaribu kupeana ng'ombe, amepeana mahindi, amepeana ndizi za kupanda mbegu. So kila section amejaribu kushikashika.
The Auditor General's report says Migori County has operated for 3.5 years without an audit committee in place as stipulated by law. He questions the financial and operational controls that need constant checks and balancing but were apparently left hanging.
My take on that is that we have an audit committee in place, and it is a legally constituted audit committee. The members were sourced competitively and gazetted according to our laws. So we have a very, very effective audit committee.
Unajua kwamba hospitali na barabara ndio inaweza tunza wananchi, lakini ikiwa kwamba hospitali na barabara na mambo ya elimu kabla haijakuwa vizuri, hiyo sisi wananchi hatujafaidika.
Ouko's report also found that Migori County government has only 3 internal auditors whose work is to only monitor revenue collection, and at the same time, the team could not provide a report concerning revenue expenditure and controls of the county government.
The audit committee has a definite functions that they are mandated to undertake. So they cannot be limited to revenue collection only.
Kasoro tu pande wa employment ndiye imekuwa na shida kidogo kwa public service.
And in the construction of a general ward for Ntimaru Hospital, a 7,891,745 shillings contract was awarded to a supplier. But according to the Auditor General's report, the contract was not subjected to a national open tender as stipulated by law.
It is not true that we have paid the 7 million for the ward in Ntimaru and the work has not been done.
The County Assembly could not escape the queries raised by the Auditor General, and in Ouko's report, there was an incident where 8,312,750 shillings was withdrawn from the bank throughout the year in question.
Yeah, it is part of what made us send, actually the speaker is impeached, and the clerk we suspended. Yes, because of these things.
There was also more of a payment of sitting allowances to 8 chairmen and their deputies that amounted to 15,843,140. And these were termed as special rates claimed during 18 County Assembly Committee sittings for meetings they attended as ordinary members.
And in any case, if you withdraw, there should be an attachment that shows that I withdrew this money to pay for these things, which was not there. So I think that as the Auditor General has indicated, there was something very, very wrong with such withdrawals.
Kwa sababu tulitoa juu, tukapigia katiba ikuje chini, ili mwananchi wa kawaida afaidike, lakini tunaona hapo chini tulisaidia wale mabwenyenye, hatujasaidika kulingana na venye tulipiga kura.
Sisi tunasema Auditor General azidi kufanya hiyo hesabu ipatikane ya maana. Ukweli ni kwamba pesa za wananchi zinatumika vibaya. Hatujasema kwamba Auditor General amefanya makosa, amefanya vizuri. Asipokuwa yeye atungejua kwamba pesa ngapi zimeibwa na pesa ngapi zimetumika na ngapi ambazo hazijatumika.
Most of the people we interviewed in Migori County believe the report is accurate, and they can't wait to see the people involved prosecuted and at the same time the recovery of the lost money. Fred Moturi, KTN News in Migori County.